now. SKhaInicz reporting a record quarterly profit. This is NVIDIA's main supplier of high bandwidth memory, reporting an operating profit of 8.08 trillion won. That's $5.6 billion. It was pretty much in line with analyst estimates, a little bit better than expected. In fact, sales in line with estimates as well. And SKhaInicz shares have been on a stellar run. They're up almost 30% just this year alone, and it's only the 23rd. All right, joining us now is Sanjeev Rana, Head of Korea Research at CLSA. Sanjeev, I just want to start with your initial reaction to what appears to be a very strong set of numbers.
Yes, results were strong, but still in line with our expectations. It's just that the net profit of 8 trillion won was a bit ahead of the consensus expectations. That's due to Forex gains and some asset sales. But overall, at the operating level, numbers were in line with expectations.
Yeah, you mentioned the Forex gains there. To what degree is this making a good number look really, really good? Because the Korean won's been pretty weak against the greenback.
Right. So the total Forex gain was about 0.6 trillion won. So yeah, it did contribute to overall, earnings beat at the net profit level. But market usually is going to look beyond this. For SKhaInicz, it's the operating earnings that matter the most. And I would say the results were good, but still in line with expectations.
So we heard yesterday from President Trump announcing the Stargate project. Obviously, this has further fueled enthusiasm around the AI story. To what degree do you see SKhaInicz as being a potential beneficiary of these plans?
I believe SKhaInicz will be a big beneficiary, like the total investments of $500 billion over the next 5 years. That translates into higher demand for AI hardware that includes GPUs, networking equipment, data center investments, and of course, a high bandwidth memory where Hynix has a leading share globally. We expect Hynix to maintain their dominance of this high bandwidth memory segment in the years to come, and it will be a big beneficiary of these investments.
Yeah, of course, SKhaInicz has a big lead over its rivals in this space as well. But what sort of capex do you anticipate from SKhaInicz in order to keep this lead? And do you see competitors catching up?
I think it will not be so easy in the near term. They have a significant lead, whether it's in terms of the product quality or the production yields, even in terms of production process. And I think it will take some time for competitors to catch up, at least like for the next iteration of HBM, which is HBM4, expected to be launched in the second half of this year and likely to be used in NVIDIA's Rubin GPUs. We expect Hynix to be the first supplier to NVIDIA for HBM4. And that, as well as its very strong position in the currently being produced HBM3E12 stack products, means that their overall HBM shipments could rise like 90 to 100%. And the same for their HBM revenue this year could increase by 100%.
Debt also seems to be under control. Can you see a scenario where SKhaInicz has cash on hand in the coming months, and how might that be deployed?
Yes. So in the fourth quarter, the company's net debt declined to about 8.5 trillion won versus 11 trillion won in the prior quarter. So that's a significant reduction. So net debt to equity ratio was down to 12% versus 17% in 3Q. And at this pace, we expect company to turn net cash in the second half of the year. Part of the net cash in the coming quarters, or in 2026 could be used to boost the company's shareholder returns. And some of it could be used for M&As.
We also saw a moment ago the screen for analyst ratings on this stock. A lot of enthusiasm around it. 40 buys, 2 holds, just the 1 sell. Do you expect to see any reweighting here after today's results?
Yeah, I mean, SKhainic's stock has performed relatively well in the last 2 years, driven by their improving position in high bandwidth memory. But also, we think in the coming months, the conventional memory that includes DDR5 DRAM and NAND is expected to improve significantly. Currently, we are going through a down cycle. ASPs are falling for conventional memory that's used in applications such as mobile and PCs, but we expect things to turn around from, let's say, in the second half, driven by restocking demand from like PC OEMs and smartphone OEMs. Recently announced handset subsidies in China are positive for the restocking demand. Meanwhile, on the NAND side, a lot of suppliers have announced production cuts, and this will result in more balanced demand supply in the second half of this year. So we expect conventional DRAM ASPs as well as NAND to move significantly higher in 2025, in second half 2025, and this upcycle could extend to 2026 as well. So we expect strong earnings delivery from the company in the coming quarters.
Also, those tech names, especially in South Korea, as we got SKhainix now recording that record profit given the AI infrastructure boom that we're seeing right now. Perhaps a little bit of that sell the news situation, given that we have seen this company surge about 30% this year, adding to 20-plus gains already last year. Samsung Electronics under a little bit of pressure, but Paul, really we have seen, of course, that rivalry between SKhainix and Samsung a little bit falling behind SKhainix when it comes to those advanced chips, HBM. And right now, the expectation is that market of high bandwidth memory could amount to $130 billion. So who takes a piece of that pie is a key question. It seems SKhainix at the moment is in the lead. Samsung a little bit behind, but Samsung doing pretty well when it comes to its phones. It's just launched 3 new Galaxy S25 smartphones with AI-powered features.